All right, podcast. When am I going to stop reading the podcast numbers? All right, I was just gonna. Last podcast was very, like heartfelt podcast. That's when we interviewed Victoria, and we got a lot of good response from that podcast. And today I want to prepare. I want to take the opportunity to prepare, and that I got Victor here, and hopefully Kyle listens to this, and hopefully everybody that is going to listen to this takes it for what it is. I want to prepare for Lent. Okay, it's that time of the year where we prepare 40 days prior to Christ being resurrected on Easter Sunday, and Lent ends that Thursday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is the resurrection. And we go through, you don't have to be a Catholic. I mean, there's different Christians, there's different Pentecostals, Protestant churches that practice Lent. And what is Lent? Lent is a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. It's something that we're sacrificing that is going to get us closer to God. Something that's going to get us closer to God. So, if I'm gonna talk about giving something up, okay, and the thing that we have to give up is something that's going to take us and get us closer to God, okay. So, is chocolate gonna get me closer to God or not get me closer to God? Is beer? Is drinking beer not gonna get me closer to God? What do you think? Is smoking not gonna get me closer to God? Or how about a little scotch? Gonna not get me closer to God. Okay? So, right off the bat, let me see what I got over here. Is smoking not gonna get me closer to God? I'm pretty much just so far away. But this is the reality, and the reality is that these things are not the things that get me away from God, okay? And that's reality, okay? Are they good for me? No, by no means. But it's like it says, don't exceed, right? For excess. So, is that the way they say it? Yeah, something like that. So, in other words, don't do a lot of it, and then you'll be fine. Look, bottom line is the preparation that it takes from us to be able to get to the point to where we're going to get closer to God is to sacrifice something that is hurting us, that is hurting our relationship with God, or whatever it is that motivates us to move forward. So I think that we have to take it serious. We have to take it serious, and we have to give it some time. So we're starting Monday. So we got a couple of days to prepare, because Wednesday is when Lent starts. Okay. Now, some people say, I'm going to not eat meat. Okay. And we can sit here and talk about all the different things that meat does to our body and whatever, and then some people say, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink beer. I'm not going to smoke. And that's fine. But come Sunday, Easter Sunday, the Easter Sunday of partying, of being happy because of the resurrection of Christ, that's when we take up all the beer and take up all the cigarettes and take up all the whatever. And I say to myself, and I'm probably the first one that says, you know what, if I do it, that's probably what ends up happening to me. And I say, How is that getting me closer to God? Okay. What about a sacrifice of, let's say, writing something positive in the morning that you're going to do for that day? Okay. Making the sacrifice of waking up early and writing, today I'm going to help somebody that I see in the street. I'm going to stop and I'm going to help them out. Today I'm going to cut somebody's yard. A sacrifice that's going to get us closer to God, that's going to give us time with him, that's going to mimic Jesus Christ and what he did for us. We always say, what would Jesus do? I always say it. Whenever I get to a point to where I don't know what to do, I'm at a crossroad, and I say, okay, I got to go this way, that way. I always say to myself, what would Jesus do? Okay. And I think that that's the way I've taught my kids to be is, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus help that person that's sick and be there for them? Or would Jesus just kind of go the other way and continue in the path, okay? In the path of righteousness, okay? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. If somebody has the answer, we can have it. And if you do, then by all means, you can mention it on our podcast, subscribe, and then go ahead and write on our podcast what would be something good for us to sacrifice in ourselves for Lent. Okay? What makes you think of something? What are you thinking of, Victor? Something that's a sacrifice that's gonna get you closer to God. I never really thought about it. I think it's time that we need to start thinking about it, okay? I think that praying, talking to God is gonna get me closer to him. I think being more like God is gonna get me closer to him. Does drinking beer get me away from God? I mean, that would be a question. And if it does, get away from it. If smoking gets you away from a relationship with God, get away from it. But for people to come around and saying, no, you can't do that because that is not Christian-like, or you can't do that because that is not Catholic-like, or you can't do this because it's not so whatever. And at the end of the day, you see them. We always have that dog. Something that'll get me closer to God is if we get rid of that dog and put him somewhere. No, that's fine. What I think we need to do is we need to explore ourselves. We need to explore who we are as people. And yes, okay. So if a beer, if alcohol, if something gets me to that next level to where I stop caring about everything and I start throwing things and doing things, of course, that is something you want to get away from, and you want to say, you know what, I want to get closer to God. I want to get closer to that being that has me here, okay? So this is a perfect opportunity for us to start thinking about what we are going to do as human beings to be able to sacrifice, okay? What are you going to give up, okay? Think about it. Sit back, think, okay, where are my weaknesses? What gets me away? Okay. I don't have any patience. I think that my patience, my anger, the anger that I get sometimes in the morning when I wake up, it just keeps me away from being closer and communicating more with God. Okay, so what can I do to sacrifice? What I can do to sacrifice is I can find a way to be more positive in the mornings when I wake up. Maybe go and hug my wife. Maybe go and hug my kids. Say good morning. I love you. Send them out positive in a positive way. I don't know what I mean. There's so many things. I mean, with that for 40 days, and you just say, man, it's crazy because you're saying sacrifice something that I should be doing. Yes, because it's a sacrifice. It's hard. It's hard to get up in the morning and be positive and tell everybody that you love them. It's hard to get up in the morning and look at your wife and say I love you. It's hard to get up in the morning and start off the day on the right foot. It's really hard. There's so many things that stop us from continuing on the day. Can you imagine a day where we are in complete meditation with our being? We're in complete meditation with ourselves. We're in complete communication with God. We're in complete communication with that being that gives us the strength. Can you imagine throughout the day if we're there 24/7? Man, what's going to touch you? Like what negative aspect of life is going to come and hit you? I don't see it. I don't see it because there's no way for it to cross that barrier. There's no way to cross that barrier. We create the barriers that are set for ourselves. We want to succeed. And if we want to succeed, then we have to try to get away. Try. Listen to what I said. Try. Why? Because it is a sacrifice. Because we have to try to get away to get away from these things that stop us from being positive. Okay, so I went in and I was in. Okay, one thing that keeps me away from I got 38. It says 38 meaningful things to give up for Lent for Lent in 2023. Okay, number 1, listening to music in my car. Okay, complaining, clutter, avoiding reading, online shopping. I wish. Biting your nails, dating apps, heat styling your hair. That keeps you away. Can you imagine that keeps you from being positive? Using your phone at dinner. Interesting. Skipping your doctor's appointment. What? Okay. Not catching up with loved ones. Interesting. Skipping your sunscreen. Not offering forgiveness. Streaming services. Fast food. Skipping workouts. Shoot, I was going to start today. Video games. Bad posture. Coffee. Gossiping. Interesting. Alcohol. I don't know. Oh. Donate 3 things each day. That will help you with the clutter. Right? Meet your phone after 8 p.m. Interesting. A half hour of sleep. What? During the day? Shoot. Your favorite junk food. Write 1 letter of gratitude a day. Didn't I talk about that? 1 letter of gratitude. Or I said 1 letter of what you're going to do for that day. But a letter of gratitude? Shoot, I like that. This is giving thanks every day for something that you have. That's awesome. Frivolous spending. Swearing. Buying lunch. Mindless snacking. Negativity. Bottled water. Give up bottled water. Okay. Food delivery. Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok. Ooh. Instagram filters, makeup, and soda. These are some of the ideas that people have. So, one thing, we're looking for something that's going to bring us closer to that being that gives us the power for us to be positive, God. And for us to be able to get closer to him and start a relationship with him. I think that there's more important things that we can do that would take us to that level. And I think it starts with ourselves. I think it starts with communication. I think it starts with actually knowing what God has done for us and the impact that he has in our lives. Once we can identify that, then we can start leaving certain things that mess up this temple. Okay? And if that's the case, I think it's good to start this coming Wednesday. Good luck. Good luck. God bless you, and da la vuelta y vive.